Okay.
Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host, Sam, and we are back again with another one. So we have an interesting guest with us here. So we're going to be talking about a lot of topics, of course, in terms of football. But we more are going to be focusing on the Premier League, then also the Champions League. There's a lot of things that happen in the Champions League. But anyway, we'll get in there. Mr. Tuki, how are you, sir?
I'm good, sir.
Are
I'm
you
good. It's
ready? Are
good
you
to
ready
be.
to tell me what's happening with your team?
Yeah, it's good to be here, even though my team is not doing well, and
Ah,
it's a problem.
it's the
It's a
worst
big
time to be here, in fact. The
Spurs.
worst time to be here. But anyway, I might be smiling like this, but I have nothing to smile about. Have you been seeing Liverpool? Have you been seeing Liverpool? I have
I think
nothing as well to be smiling
I
about.
think Liverpool is better because it makes sense as to why they are where they are today. But with Spurs, nothing makes sense because you can't seem to understand why there are so many injuries, why there is no movement in the market. Where is the
Mm.
money? We thought we had
But
money. We are building stadiums and everything, but it doesn't look like on the footballing side of things are working out. So it doesn't
yeah,
make any sense.
because the truth of the situation is straightforward. You were working on the stadium. After finishing the stadium, you were expecting to see a movement to make a team better. But it seems like the decision makers are the ones who are letting you down 90% of the time. Because I'm looking at, first of all, there was Daniel Levy. He left. But also the way the team released him, like your club, you put everything that made you fail as a team to him, like you were blaming him for the failures
Mm,
of tournament first. But on top of that, when you expect him expect to see better changes, to see some movement which will improve the club. It seems like even the ones who have taken over, who are saying that they're the ones who are going to save Tottenham, are making it even terrible as well.
exactly.
So I don't get it.
With football is very tricky. You have to have a plan for a long period of time. You have to
Mm.
stretch it and be patient. But at Tottenham, you can see there is not a particular plan. There is nothing that is happening that you can see
Yeah,
in 4 or 5 years we will be winning titles and we will be winning some trophies. You just see these people that are just scrappy. They're just buying some players, thinking that is gonna work. It's like it's like an experiment. It's like we are experimenting. We just buy someone and hope they do some magic and then we win something.
but but this what makes it a bit difficult for me to understand. Because if I go backwards, like when you used to have the Harry Kane, the Heung-min Son, Lucas Moura, Christian Eriksen, that team of Bodeni Ali, the team that I started watching of Tottenham Hotspur, the one that gave me
Mm,
nightmares, the one that
mm,
almost
mm.
won the league, there was direction on what you were doing. So I don't know
Exactly.
what's changed from Maurizio Pochettino, the glory days, to where you are now. Because after Maurizio Pochettino, you went through Jose Mourinho, you went through Antonio Conte, then you also went through, is it this name, what's his name, Ange Postecoglou. You also
Mm,
went to
mm,
Thomas Frank. Now you are in Igor Tuga. Like
mm.
I'm trying to understand. Oh, I even forgot one manager when I was talking. The guy who's at West Ham right now. Nuno Espirito Santos. Those are the
Yeah.
managers you have went through in. You're laughing. But I want to understand, the problem, is it the players or is it the board or is it the managers you are getting as a team?
I,
I
will-
don't
I,
get what's really wrong.
I will always say the problem is with the board because and the like the management, like the owners and everything. Because you see with Mourinho, I never
Mm,
disagree with Mourinho. Like
yes.
Mourinho is big. Mourinho is big. We can even say he's bigger than Tottenham. So
Ah,
if
no.
Mourinho
So,
if Mourinho says something, you must know probably it is true. And if
mm,
Antonio Conte comes and says the very same thing, then it must be true because they said the
I
same
felt
thing
like
about the
I
board
felt like
and
with
about the
Antonio
vision.
Conte, the last the last interview he had, he was more
Yes,
about destroying the image of the club rather than being anything.
exactly. Because he was fed up. He couldn't get what he wanted. Because he's a control freak. He wants to control
Yeah.
everything on the
Mm.
footballing side of things. But it looked like he had a problem with management because they were not allowing him to do what he wanted to do. The players he
But
wanted
also
to get.
some with him as well. He felt also that there was too much player power in Spurs. Like the players,
Exactly.
they're refusing to run because they know that he can be replaced just like that. Do you think it was
Exactly.
that was also the problem?
Exactly. Because that power is obviously given by management. Because when you talk of contracts and you talk of what is being signed, who's supposed to play how many minutes, what is supposed to happen, he wants to be in control of that so that he can be in control
Yes,
of the player. So if
yes.
the management is in somewhere in between those two things, it becomes a problem because now he cannot assert control of his players. You can see that it is even happening right now. Some
Yeah.
players that are just unruly, they just do things you can see there is no control at all. So there must
That's
be
the
something that is
problem.
happening.
That's the problem because now when we just fast forward into now, because I think in Antonio Conte he revealed too much that it scared so many people. But yet on top of that, it now when we see what's happening right now, we are able to see the problem that he was talking about. Talk about
Yeah,
your captain, the captain of the team. Oh, what's his name? Christian Romero, is it?
Romero, yes.
Yeah, he talks like a leader. If you watch what he says, Instagram stories, whatever he's saying, he's always complaining about how Tottenham is not performing. Yet, on
Mm.
top of that, you'll be surprised what's happening with them when it's not for him to perform. When you want him to deliver, he's getting the red cards like for fun.
Red card
Like he doesn't want
all
to
the
be on the
time.
pitch. Like
It
he
looks
doesn't want
like
to be on the pitch.
yes, it looks that way. It looks like he doesn't even want to play for the club anymore. He's just there because he has a contract and he wants to play out his contract, but he's not
And I
interested.
think And I think that's what makes this moment where you guys are dangerous because you now have players in your team who are who are bigger than they who feels like they're bigger than the club. First of all, even Mickey Van der Ven, the way he has been behaving these days, the manager is telling him to move. I saw a video of Igor Tuga telling him to move, and he refused to move. And now you think, okay, what's going to happen? Are these players thinking that, okay, if Tottenham Hotspur is relegated, I don't care what's going to happen. I'm going to be moved away. Is that the way you do? If you're under contract with a team, your behavior is what other teams are looking at. For example, the guy like Mickey Van der Ven, he thinks that he can just walk into Liverpool with the amount of the behavior that we are seeing him portraying online about the team, the way he's behaving on the field. Do you think that a club like that can take him? Don't you think that these players are destroying their careers, thinking that they are doing something
Trying
to
to
help the
trying
team?
to destroy Tottenham. Exactly.
But it's not fair though. It's not fair. Something has to be done. They have to find a way of making sure that if you think you're going to throw us in the championship, you are going to be with us there and you're going to have to come back with us because you have to treat the club like it's supposed to be. This has to be your life. If I'm paying, these guys are being paid so much money to be
Exactly.
professionals. You expect that they have to rise to the standards that are meant to be of players. The way they're behaving, it's a problem. It's just really a problem and it's a worrisome. I just wonder, what do you think as you look at yourself, as you look at it as a fan, where do you think it's gonna be? Do you think Tottenham Hotspur has to be relegated, maybe to help that reset as a team to find the best way to maybe if they come back a year later in the Premier League, they'll be better because now one thing the way things look like right now, it doesn't look good.
I think relegation would be best because if you look at clubs who have been struggling for example like the big club like Manchester United, they have been struggling to reset while inside the Premier League because they come with a lot of pressure from the fans and everything. But with Tottenham,
Yes.
if they relegate, it could be easy to reset from the championship. It will be much easier for them to find to find back that rhythm, to find back those glory days, so that they know if it's a proper reset, then these guys would be gone. Now I want them gone because they're just names now. They are not players we can rely on. They're just Christian
Oh my
Romero,
God.
Mickey Van de Ven. We cannot no longer rely on them because we see that they do not want to play for the badge. They do not want to. Right now, we
Yeah,
should be
true.
fighting. We should be fighting to get out of relegation, but we are not. We are so relaxed. It's like we are the
That's
ones
the
who are
scary
about to
part.
win the title with corners and everything. But you, you can see that we are too relaxed. So it's
Yeah.
a problem. It's a very big problem, and I think relegation, unfortunately, would be the best thing for us right now because staying in the Premier League,
It's
but
just unbelievable because I
exactly,
started watching the Premier
exactly,
League. I
staying
started
in the
watching the
Premier League,
Premier League just in some years, and now you worry that a big club like Spurs, you are one of the top six clubs. That's how big you are.
exactly,
Whether people
exactly,
like it, even though they try to pretend like it's nothing, Spurs are one of the big clubs in the Premier League. And we are saying that the only way we can get a reset and create a better team is for them to be relegated.
exactly.
It's just scary. It is scary.
It's football, my
Ah,
friend. Football.
it's scary, man. Okay, so in terms of management, do you think uh, getting rid of Ange Postecoglou was the right decision?
I think he alone he had something unique that he was doing. You
Mm.
can see that he's a manager with he was bringing something sort of like what the Barcelona manager is doing right now.
Yeah,
He, he was
yes,
bringing something unique to the Premier League. You see, I think in the Premier League we have a problem of too much cultivation. We want to recycle coaches all the time. This one is going there, this one is going to that club. We do not have that patience of saying, okay, we can see what this meant. Of course, when you come with something new in the Premier League, it's going to
mm.
fail. It's going to fail,
Yeah,
but we must not.
because I remember when he took over Tottenham Hotspurs, you guys did almost about a 10 or 11 game run unbeaten in the Premier League,
Unbeaten,
winning
exactly.
the games by one. I remember the game that you beat us when we got two red cards, I think, at Tottenham Hotspurs ground.
Exactly.
There was something amazing about him. And the thing that he promised, even though his football was scary, the highline was crazy, though. We have to say
Exactly.
the highline was crazy. But one thing which was very clear about him, he said he always wins something in the second year. And he
Mm.
delivered that.
He
He
did.
gave
He
you the
did
picture.
win
You
something.
won something. And I understand that in that season you finished, was it number 15 or something in the Premier League
Yeah, he
last
was
season?
18.
But you
Yeah,
went to you won, you became European champions. And in my eyes, I'm like, okay, there is a direction there. It looks like you're building something. Then you hear, okay, Ange Postecoglou is signed by Tottenham Spurs. Which in a way it made sense because the Spurs have never finished that low in a while. And you understand,
exactly.
I get it because this is a top six team. You thought he was going to be the guy who raised it up to go back to its glory days, but he was not able to do that. He brought it down, but gave you a trophy. Then he was signed. Then you went to Thomas Frank. Tell me,
That's that
as a fan, how were you feeling? How were you
that
feeling as a
didn't
fan?
that to me didn't make sense at all. Why would you somebody has won you something after such a very long time, after not having hope that you can win anything, then somebody
Yes,
actually delivers and wins you a European and Europa League champion.
yes,
And then
yes.
you go ahead and sack him, and then you bring in Thomas Frank. That didn't make sense at all.
No,
Because
but you know one thing, which is funny. When Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool, I'm gonna just give this on. So many people were saying that Thomas Frank should come to Liverpool.
mm,
And I think when people were looking at it, it made sense because one thing I have to all agree about is the British media knows how to hype up anything. Anything,
exactly,
even a stick, give them a stick and they'll make it look like it's the most special stick ever created. That's what they did with Thomas Frank. I'm not saying that he's that terrible, but I'm just giving you an example. Look at how this guy was hyped as the next big thing with what he was doing with Brighton. But one thing that
mm,
people are forgetting, Brighton doesn't have any pressure.
exactly,
Brighton, if they remain in the Premier League, that's their success. You are bringing him to a team that is supposed to fight back into the top six. A team that is expected to be competing either to one or two of the trophies that are there. That's the pressure that was there under Thomas Frank. And now it comes to Spurs, and you get that PSG game which he performed in the Super Cup, where you almost it looked like you guys were gonna win. I know you lost, but it was very impressive. Now you as a fan are believing that okay, maybe there's direction here. Tell me now, how did you go from that high to now we are wondering what's happening with Spurs? What happened?
You know, with I always tell people that with the managers we have to look at at what they have been doing and where they have been doing it. Because managing big clubs is not child's play. You have to come there
That's not easy.
and you have to manage big egos. You are not playing with teenagers. You are not playing with people who are trying to prove something. You are playing with people who already think they are established, who already
Exactly.
think exactly who already think that they know how to do this. And they are going to be there to challenge you. They are going to be there to question you. If you come with your tactics and you say, they are going to question you and say, no, but we have been doing it like this. But when you are at Brighton and you are coaching a couple of teenagers who are trying to prove themselves, they listen to you. They do everything that you
Yeah.
say. Everything flows. There is no pressure from the fans because we know that Brighton is just a club that wants to be in the Premier League. They're not.
Yes.
If they find themselves in the top four, like Nottingham Forest did last season, or they find themselves in the top five, it's a bonus. So
Yeah.
you can't take a manager like that, a manager who is still, quite frankly, he's still growing himself, and
Yeah,
then
he
you take
is.
him, and then you take him, and then you put him in a club that is a potential champion club. That is
No,
a
you
potential.
guys were champions. You were European champions. So you
Exactly,
made him to a champion club.
exactly.
He can't.
So
Ah,
so 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 you have to look at it in that way, Yuri. We cannot say that we cannot take. I even believe that we destroy good managers like Thomas Frank by just taking them and then putting them in big clubs because we are trying to push a propaganda, like you are saying, or the British media likes pushing such kind of stories. Then we
yeah.
destroy a manager like that. We see what
Yeah,
we
that's
did to.
true.
Yes. So sometimes we should understand that these clubs like your Liverpool, your Man U, they need big managers. They need managers who are going to come
Who
there
are not
and
afraid of
then
managing the ego?
exactly. That is the,
Who
the
are not
type of
afraid to manage the
manager.
ego? Because, for example, look at it. I'm gonna just give as an example. Real Madrid and Xavi Alonso. What happened? What happened? He could not.
Exactly.
They felt like they
Very
were being
good
controlled,
example.
and that's how he
That
lost it.
that's a very good example. Xabi Alonso is just a master tactician. He's a good tactician. That's all he
Mm.
wants to do. But then he got
Yes,
there and he found your Vinicius Junior, your Jude Bellingham, he found your Rodrigo, and then it became just a big mess. He didn't concentrate on what he loves to do the most. When he got
which is
there, he was
managing,
supposed
which is
he was
controlling
supposed to now
tactics.
exactly. You are supposed to now not be a coach, but be a manager now. Start to manage people's egos and everything. But he's not like that. He's not at that stage yet. But we took him and then we put him in a big club like that. Then we
Yeah,
destroyed him.
no, for me, it never made sense at all. And I don't think it
Exactly.
makes sense for anyone. I don't think it makes sense for anyone. Because now you have to think about it now. After, okay, you have discovered that it was an era. By the way, the Brighton Cup where he was holding the My Arsenal Cup, it's just crazy. That's another crazy story. Did you get an Arsenal fan to become your manager? I have no idea. Especially you guys being rivals. I don't get that part.
Exactly.
But we move on from Thomas Frank. You get Igor Tudor. Who is this now? Who's this guy? What's happening right now?
Why say Thomas Frank when the ship is already sinking? Then you come with somebody, he's unknown, he's coming there to a club that is already in shambles, and you are saying he's going to. I even think Igor Tudor himself is crazy. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you go to a club that is already dead and you come there,
You know
you
why,
think you
why I
can
think
do
he would
some
do that to
magic?
himself? You know why he would do that to himself? This is a guy, if you look at what he has done, he has never managed a club for as long as 2 years. He's always coming to save clubs from being relegated. Then after 6 months or 12 months, he's signed. So
So,
imagine you are failing to get a proper job as a manager. Then Tottenham Hotspurs, one of the big clubs in the world, are coming and saying that I'm offering you a job. You are going to manage Tottenham Hotspurs. You become the story that saves Tottenham Hotspurs from relegation. What do you think was going to happen to him? He was like, I'm going to make my name there. And for sure, he's making his name at Spurs, but not exactly the way he thought it.
exactly. And now it's becoming just a sad story. I don't know if after maybe if we do relegate or we do stay up, are they going to sack him also because he hasn't won not even a single game? He's just terrible. You can see even on the sideline that he himself he doesn't know what's happening. He's just there and he's just shouting and nobody's listening to him. They're just ignoring him like he doesn't exist. So I
Yeah,
think
and also just recently, the Champions League, what he did to Shinsky. He puts out a new goalkeeper. I get it. You're putting up a
oh,
new goalkeeper. He goes, he makes terrible mistakes. I get it. He did not perform. You'd say, okay, let's get him out because the kid was really dying on the post. He felt so isolated. So it made sense to start being off for Vicario, even though the time people feel like it was a bit hard. But after when the player is coming out, you look at him, you don't even show him at least courage to say, okay, you get better. Try to talk to him. Let us ask the people who are watching you saying that, okay, you are trying to consult the young kid because he's still a kid after all. Consult him
mm,
and give him an opportunity, make him believe that he'll get better. He ignores the player. He just passed through him. The Atletico Madrid fans stood up, applauding the player, just trying to make him feel better. And yet he's ignored it just like that, like the manager. What's happening with this guy? I don't really get why he's even coming to the Liverpool game that is coming up this weekend. What's happening with the Tottenham Hotspurs? I'm confused.
we are
I'm
every time
confused.
there is a fixture and the fixtures are coming out and we know we are going to play, we don't even want to watch anymore. You could see who the Tottenham fans are just fed up. They are walking
Yeah,
out before it's even half time. You can see who it's very terrible. It's the most horrific thing you can see when people are leaving before half time. So
yeah, it's crazy.
this guy, what he did to this goalkeeper, it's just sad, man. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think
sad.
it's sad for a goalkeeper to have something like that happen to him, and then the immediate person who is supposed to support him, the one who put him inside there in the first place, is not doing that. It's very sad. You would think
Yeah,
that Igor Kido is just trying to destroy that young boy's future. He's
I,
doing it
I, I think
deliberately,
so as
like
well.
he has been sent by someone to just no go put him there, and then if he fails, you make it look like you don't see him. And it's a
Uh,
problem. You can already tell that this guy is not a proper manager. He's just there
yeah,
for
it's not
vibes. He's
because
just trying to be good.
I think he had about maybe close to 15 interviews right now in England, and I can tell you most of those interviews is attacking the team. He's either attacking the players or he's literally attacking Tottenham Hotspurs almost every single time he gets. And I just wonder, why are you keeping him as a manager? I was reading just recently that David Ornstein just said that Spurs are already looking for another candidate to replace him because they're saying that this was a terrible mistake. I don't know, but anyway, we'll keep talking about this until Jesus come back. I'm more curious about. Now, I want to talk about Liverpool because
Mm.
the bigger game that is coming is Tottenham versus Liverpool. What do you think about Anfield? What do you think about
I think
Anfield?
I think Ancelotti the mistake that he made was he struggled to transition between the Jurgen Klopp style of playing to his style of play. He made I think he made a quick move to try and switch things around.
Mm,
Like the idea, you can see that while he was winning, he was still using the ideas of Jurgen Klopp.
Klopp.
But then now,
Yes.
when this season started, he wanted to completely change everything and that now start to use his style. And he's seeing that game after game, it crumbles. It's not working. But he keeps believing that the next game is the one. The next game is the one. But it's not working. I don't understand
Somebody
why
told me
he's
that
so stubborn.
Someone told me that sanity is keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
A
That's
different
exactly
result.
what this guy is doing. That's exactly what this guy is doing.
It's not
Uh,
working. But it's not. If something is not working, you are a football coach. You have to change. You have to see what to do to make it work. And I don't believe Hori, he's exploiting the talent that he has, especially in the midfield with your McAllister and your Ryan Gravenberch. He's not trying to exploit that. He's only trying to be so rigid. He's trying to do something that I don't understand tactically what he's trying to do. His rest defense is the Konate and the Van Dijk. Van Dijk is just terrible this season. I don't understand.
Minister,
I know
Minister,
people rate him highly, but this season he's just not. It's not working. Like the rest defense, the Konate and they are not working. It's not working. Something is just not going well because most of the time they are exposed. Most of the time they are exposed. And this guy,
90%
this
of the
guy
time.
they signed, Jeremy Frimpong. I don't know what he's doing. What is that guy doing? You can't come to a big club like Liverpool and then you are just substandard. You are not doing anything to show that you are feeling the boots of Trent Alexander-Arnold. It doesn't make sense.
But
So
I actually feel like when it comes to Jeremy, I don't think we expect him to be the new Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't think we want him to be that. Though. We want the thing is this, and now this makes me worry about the management and the decision makers of Liverpool. If you are going to buy a Fimpong, you don't need a Milos Kerkez because you are literally buying the same player.
the same
For me,
player.
when you look at it, you're literally buying the same players. They are all runners. They want to go forward. They don't want to stay defending. They don't want to start the game up. They are all runners. They need to take advantages of the spaces that are being created for fullback. The fact that they bought Milos Kerkez and bought Jeremy Frimpong, it feels like exactly what of the plan was the manager working on. Or maybe we were trying to use Connor Bradley as the sitting right back. Then whenever we change with Robertson, that's when we use Jeremy Frimpong. Because you can
Mm,
see that even though it's not working, the Konate and Van Dijk partnership and pairing, whatever that is happening, it feels like the team is not at all balanced. There's so much
it's not.
confusion that is happening in that Liverpool team. When you look at how we get exposed, because let's say Frimpong want to attack, and Milos Kerkez has also joined him, so it means that there's a front three, there's a front five up top, and when the boys hit on top of them, behind only Konat and Van Dijk are left, and maybe he likes to keep maybe Gravenberch or maybe a Soberslide. You find that 90% of the time we leave ourselves so exposed because of how the
Mm,
team has been set up. And I think is it Slot's fault or is it the board's fault in terms of the players that we bought? Because I'm looking at he's now trying to transition to his own style of play in
exactly.
transition that he literally destroys the core of Liverpool. Yes, Diogo Jota, he passed away. We are still mourning for that. We can't do anything about that. But you let your Luis Diaz goes. I know people did not like him. You let your Darwin Nunes goes. Also, on top of that, you let Trent Alexander-Arnold go. Of course, we did not have any control doing that. But we made so many changes into that team. Even the young kids who were coming in, we sold so many players that it exposed us that now we look like we have no any direction on what we're trying to do.
Mm.
I think that's what the problem was with Liverpool. Because we made so many changes, man. And it's a worry. It's a worry, really. But also, you think Arne Slot's tactics, the way he plays, it doesn't look like he's a guy who understands what he's doing, though. Because I was trying to think, he's trying to move to his own style of play. What is his style of play? This guy has been
Exactly.
playing, he has been in the Premier League for how long? What exactly is his style of play? What is he looking for? So that for me confuses me. I don't know.
I think I always say I always try to look for his identity and tactically what he's trying to do. And I always say it's like he just take a pen and paper and just chooses the first 11 and say, "Go boys, see what you can do." You cannot structurally see what he's trying to do as a manager, what style of play
Definitely.
he's trying to. Is he trying to press high? Is he trying to do a low block? Is he trying to play with the wings and have a rest defense? Also, if he's trying to do that, he doesn't have the players to play that style of play. So
This is the
sometimes
thing.
you have to consider if you do have the quality to play in that structure, and he doesn't. So why is he not trying to be more conservative and just press people high like Jurgen Klopp used to do? These people, they need to run. You cannot try to be rigid. You cannot try to rest and have a low block or have a mid block. They want to run. They want to press. They want to go at people. They do not want to stop and wait. They're not that type of players. They want to go there. They want to go on to
That's
the
the
other half
problem.
and press high. They want a high pressure football. But he is trying to be rigid. He's trying to have people standing in their positions and then asserting themselves, which is a terrible tactic, because these Liverpool players, they want to go at people, they want to press high, but he's not
Yes,
doing
because
that.
that's what they're used to.
Yes, they are used to.
This is a team, and I'm so proud of the way he was able to unleash Gravenberg. I never knew that Gravenberg was able to do this. I'm happy about how he showed us a different side of Ryan Gravenberg that we all love. But the problem
Yeah,
is
he's a magician, that
this.
one.
Look at this. Look at this. This is a team that is set up, and you are wondering last season, if you really pay attention to the games which were winning, it was make some good passes in the midfield, pass it to Van Dijk, hit a long ball to Mo Salah. Mo Salah
Mm,
does the job, and we are
that's
winning. He
amazing.
scored 42 goals. Mo Salah is no longer the Mo
He's
Salah
not
of
doing
last
that
season.
right now. Exactly.
He's no longer that guy. What do you do now when you're being asked to now perform as a manager? This is
Mm,
what we're watching. This is what we are watching. I'm so confused with this Liverpool team. I'm telling you. I was actually making a joke with my brother yesterday, talking about the Spurs game that is coming. You guys have not won a game in the whole entire 2026 in the Premier League. I have a feeling you might get it in Anfield. The reason why I'm saying that, it's not because I hate my manager or what. It's because, like what you're saying, Arne Slot doesn't know how to use the type of players he has. He doesn't know the
exactly.
type of football he's trying to play. When you're putting a Dominic Soboslai, for me, because Soboslai, when you look at it, I see him like a Valverde type of a player, a guy who's
Exactly.
able to run himself he's able to do everything. He can cover the
Exactly.
field, but you make him a box to box. You want him to be the guy who will make sure he does the dirty work in that midfield, so that he allows the likes of Florian Wirtz, the tacticals, the guys who can see a pass that nobody can see, and they're able to execute,
Mm,
give them the ball, and make sure that he's given the right space to do that. But most of the time, you find Dominic Soboslai being pushed, being next to Florian Wirtz, and now they're literally confusing themselves in that position, which forces the likes of Gravenberg and McAllister to run in those positions to confuse. It's like whatever is trying to create in that midfield, it's the same recipe which is opening up so many spaces, which is exposing us at the back. Because now Konate and Van Dijk doesn't know, am I supposed to pick up this midfielder who was supposed to be kept by Gravenberg, or am I supposed to go to the striker who's supposed to be my man I'm dealing with? So when I look at what Arne Slot is trying to do, and I look at what is happening on the field, do you know what you do when you want to beat Liverpool? Just make sure that you overload them with more midfielders, because those midfielders will have spaces which they'll take advantage and go scores at the back. That's what's happening. He doesn't know what he's trying to do. The strike force he signed in Hugo Ekitike is a guy who needs to work next to somebody. He needs somebody who is able to feed the ball around, pass it around, and go in an open space and go scores. It's not like, for example, somebody like Haaland who just runs and they expect to have the final goal. He wants to build up something with. But when you think about it, you have, for example, a Dominic Soboslai, a guy who's running around, who's literally everywhere in the midfield, and the McAllister wants to do something covering the space which you would expect your striker like Hugo Ekitike to drop in as a number 10 like. So it means he's already next to Florian Wirtz. So what happens? Who's up top? Is there any player who's going to think, okay, I need to run? There's no longer a strike up top. When that happens, you find out we have about 6 or 7 or 8 players just moving around in the middle. So what do other teams that do? They just come back and create a low blow. It means
Mm,
they're sure that these guys are going to play the game in that it's in front of us, so they'll never hurt us at the back. So they stand.
mm,
There's no one that is threatening them to come back. So you'll find that most of the time we are confusing ourselves in that midfield department. That when we are trying to do that, we are trying to execute a goal, or maybe you have that final pass to create a chance. It's already too late because the players are already around you. You can't get out of the spaces. And
mm.
when they try to go back to the last season's type of play, passing it to Salah, how many times has Salah been receiving the ball and losing it? So I'm so confused because I don't know what the team is doing. I don't know exactly what exactly is expecting Florian Wirtz to do whenever he's now supposed to be playing and there's so many players around him. I don't know what he wants Hugo Ekitike to do when he's telling him to drop back when he is now exposing up top. Isak, when he comes, he has not been fitted this whole season. So when you think about it, this is a manager with a big team that can be so amazing if they're just given the right tactics to use. Hence why I think Arsenal needs to go. I feel like Arsenal needs to go because we need a tactician. What Real Madrid did not need is exactly what we need. I think
We
we
need
need a Xavi Alonso who give each and every player a position to occupy. Because right now we are confusing ourselves. We are confusing ourselves, and it's a problem.
Will they take him though? Do you see him going if he wins a couple of games and then he survives? Maybe he gets into the top four. Do you see him
Which games is
be
he going
back?
to win, though? Which games is he going to win, though? That's the question. That's the question. Which games is he going to win? Because we thought, okay, Galatasaray last time they beat us, it was a new thing. He saw what Galatasaray did. He played them
Mm,
again. What did he do? What happened in that game? What happened? You know, for a fact, and this is not even a lie. I'm not even making this just to make people to make tournament fans feel good about what's happening on during the weekend. I don't know if we can either. I can never trust Liverpool to have what it takes to beat Spurs because I know you don't have players, so many players. I think that maybe could be the thing that works against you. But
mm,
90% of the time, if you just wait and create a good group and leave one player up top, like a column one, somebody who can run, you will score goals. You will score goals against Liverpool because we don't have anything in that midfield. Right now, if you have time, just go watch highlights of the Galatasaray games. Look at the spaces which were open between the midfield and the defense of Liverpool. Just look at the space. If you have somebody who can hit the ball well at the back of the net, you'll score goals for days like what Moses Kaisana did for Chelsea. Just hit them from outside. The goalkeeper will always be trying by means to save those goals because it's so open. It's so open. That midfielders, it's like that midfield of Liverpool literally run and they go in the wings like they're wingers and create an entire space in the middle. That I don't know, are they afraid of that middle part? What is the manager telling them to do? What is the tactics of opening up those spaces? What's happening? I cannot even talk about the mid block, the low block, or the high press. I can't talk about it with Liverpool. I don't know right now what exactly what we're doing. I don't know. And that's where the problem is. Even if he wins so many games, how is he going to win it? And how is he even playing it? Because I don't know. I don't know. And that's the problem with me when it comes to Liverpool. And long behold, if we will make it into that top five, it'll be like grace. It'll be like grace. Because it
Honest
doesn't
Lord.
make sense. You You see, I've literally spent so much time talking to you, trying to give
Mm,
you, trying to speak and trying to make something make sense out of how we play. I don't
Nothing
know.
makes sense.
I don't
Nothing.
know. And that's the honest truth.
And I actually thought, I to myself actually thought if somebody is coming in and he's taking over from Jurgen Klopp, he has to be good. He has to be
Mm.
that good. Whether we know him or he has a track record or whatever, but he has to be good. Even him, when you are filling big
Mm.
shoes like that, you have
Mm.
to be good. But he is not. He's not even trying
Yeah.
to be good. He's not even
Yes.
lifting a finger to show that he can impose himself in the Premier League. with a manager like that, I think it's fair to say you want him to be sacked because you can't see him
No,
coming in next season. You can't see him coming in next season and dominating the Premier League. I
he
mean,
will not.
if right now you are getting beaten to the race in the Premier League by a Manchester City team that is so horrible, like the most horrible Manchester City team we have seen, and you are struggling.
You are even talking about a bigger client. The Man City is a bigger team. We have
Exactly.
Manchester United on top of us. Manchester
Exactly.
United. Manchester United. How many years have we been watching this Bruno Fernandes, whatever project that they've been working on, struggling? They are on top of us. We have a
Exactly.
Chelsea team that you're not sure that are they going to, what are they doing? You saw what they were done by PSG. We have
Exactly.
Aston Villa without 90% of their players on top of us. On top of us. I have Everton fans on my comment section telling me that at the end of the season they'll be on top of Liverpool, and I have to accept it. Everton, of all the teams, Everton are telling me how they're gonna do. It's crazy. And the funny part, I cannot fight these people because if United are already in the top three, who the hell do I think Everton will want on top of us? If they win their next 3 games and we drop points, they could move to be on top of Liverpool. The difference between Liverpool and Everton is only 5 points. So I can't say, and what makes it even terrible, we saw what Wolves did with us. You saw what Wolves did. The worst team in Premier League history. You saw what they did to us. How can I tell you that, okay, we are going to be able to beat this other team? How can I even do that? Because I don't know as a fan as well. I don't know. That's why I'm telling you. The best thing for Liverpool and the best thing for both of us, both the fans and the management, if they still want to us to beg them as a management, they just have to suck on a slot. They just have to get rid of him. I'm happy. Yes, we're celebrating. You won the Premier League. But let us be honest. If Klopp had stayed another year, we were winning the Premier League. If he had stayed another year, we were winning the Premier League. So don't tell me that, okay, he is the reason why we won the Premier League. If you want to
No,
see
he's
that he
not.
was never the reason,
He was just
look at
riding the
from
wave of
January.
Jurgen.
Look at from January of 2025 to the end of that season. Look at how many games we won when he started to try to implement his style of play. Just look at how we played. We won. I think we lost more games than we won at the end of that Premier League run. We lost more games than we won, but because from then to December we had done so much work that it was difficult for the team that was behind us to catch us. That's exactly what we stand. That's why I cannot at all. I cannot see myself next season coming back here and talking about how I'm excited of the new season under Arne Slot. That for me, it's crisis. It's a nightmare in my head. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. Because now I'm hearing the likes of David Onstein that he still gets the owners' trust and what. That's nonsense. Let us all be honest. We can see it. It's clear. That team needs some changes. And
He doesn't. He doesn't have a plan.
it's crazy.
You cannot
I'm
keep
telling you,
somebody who doesn't have a plan.
he doesn't. He
And
doesn't.
then we talk of Men U that I don't know what Michael Carrick did. He do something? Did Michael Carrick actually do something to that team to make it where it is today? Is he actually doing something?
I think he is. And the reason why I think he is because I'm looking at how they are playing. I'm looking at how they are approaching the games. I think he has a plan. He has the way he wants them to work. So himself as a manager, I think he's a good manager. He understands the tactics part of the game. But the problem with me is the thing that we also keep forgetting is this. United are playing one game in the next 14 days. 90% of the time they're playing with teams that are coming from Europa games. They're playing against teams that are coming from Champions League, who are playing in the FA Cup, who are playing in the Carabao Cup. So I feel like with Manchester United, it's just the guy with good tactics of understanding how to make this team actually work, plus the fact that he has more time with them in the training field to make them actually execute his tactics, and also they have more energy than the other players. I think that's what's happening with United. I think
And I think
we will see a clear vision of United come next season if he's still gonna be the manager. If it was him or it was the other way around. Because let us be honest, that Amaron victory was a victory from hell. That did not work. That was nonsense happening. Now we are seeing football.
mm. But my theory is about this certain situation. My theory is the players are doing the most, because when Michael Carrick came in, he just gave them what they wanted. He put them where they are comfortable. Like they have been playing in positions that they did not want, like for a very long period of time. But when he came in, he just made a reset, then he gave them what they wanted, and now they are playing for him because he's giving them what they want. Like if you
And
are a
also
player,
the Kobe effect.
such as Mbemo, and you are coming in, and then you are made to play in a position that you are not comfortable with, you become problematic to the manager, because you are not comfortable and you feel like the system is not working. Repeatedly, you tell the manager, boss, we are doing this every game, but it's not working. But the boss is not listening. I think that guy he was just so terrible, and he didn't want to admit that his style of play was not working in the Premier League. Like
Yeah.
it takes a special manager to play three at the back in the Premier League, because the Premier League,
Can I
the
ask you a
Premier League,
question? Can I
exactly.
ask you a question? When we talk of
Yeah,
special, are we talking mentally or special in a different way?
exactly. But both, because if you are to play three at the back in the Premier League, you have to be good. You have to have some good players. You have to be good as a manager as well. But he is none of those. He was just stubborn. He just wanted to play three at the back. Whether it was working or not, he just didn't care. And
Yeah.
the players could see that he doesn't want to change, but it's not working. So when Michael Carrick
Also, I
came,
think what makes also United good is the Kobe Manu factor. That kid is a
mm,
talent, and the fact that Ruben Amorim could not see that was a crisis on its own.
no, I still beg to differ. I think he knew the kid was talented. The problem is that he wanted to play three at the back. So
Yeah.
if you want to play three at the back, then you put a Casemiro in the middle, and then you put a Bruno Fernandes in the middle. Then you have two players. One is gonna sit. One wants to play. One wants to go up front. One wants to go run, make those late runs into the box. He wants to be the playmaker. Then you leave Casemiro alone in the midfield. Then two you have a fullback this side, then you have another fullback this side. They are high. Then you isolate your defenders. It was a problem. He couldn't. He didn't
Yeah.
want to put. He didn't want to put Kobe Maino inside, because he knew he would have to destroy the back three. He have to go to four back to a back four. Then have one. Then
That
have
was the
one.
problem.
Then have a number six. But he didn't do that. He could see the kid was talented. I mean, everybody can see that the kid is talented,
Everyone
because
can
time
say,
and time, time and time
truthfully,
again, when he comes in, he proves himself. So I don't
yeah.
understand why he had to sacrifice such talent, because he was so stubborn to change the tactics. I mean, as a manager, you have to be clever. You have to want to win games. Every game that you approach. I mean, if you want to test your tactics, test it on a team, maybe just maybe on a full harm or something. But if you're going to go up against the big clubs, you have to
Mm,
make sure that you want to get the points. You cannot
yeah.
test. You cannot go the whole season trying to test your back three on the Premier League. It's not working. He was so stubborn. That guy, I didn't understand why he was so stubborn.
Yeah, I think he let himself down. I think he let everyone down, and so many United fans wanted this to work, but he was never a type of a manager who can last or even succeed in a Manchester United team. He was never that kind of guy. But like I'm saying, with Kobe Mino being so good press resistant wise, being able to hold it, this guy he can be one of the best to ball. He ball carriers in the Premier League. He can move with the ball. He's able to offer so much that was missing to this United team. That's why maybe they are successful at the moment under Carrick, because Carrick just allowed that to succeed. He just allowed that to be good.
Exactly. And when you have a player like Kobe Mainu, you have to play through the middle all the time because you know that he's going to deliver. So, and
Exactly.
playing through the middle is a good thing because most teams they rely on wing play. They rely on spreading the field.
I give
Exactly.
a clear
But if you are
example. We run away from the midfield.
exactly.
Liverpool run
So
away
if you
from the
have
midfield.
so if you have players who are good in the middle, if you have your Kobe Menu and you have somebody who can pick the pass, who can pick a pass like Bruno Fernandes, then it's gold. But if you are Ruben Amorim and you're not using that gold, then it means you must be dumb or something.
Yeah,
And
very
then
dumb.
he just kept the kid on the bench and it was not working either way. So I think he was just a stubborn guy who I don't know
Okay,
what was his problem.
okay. So that's what's happening. It's crazy. What about the Chelsea craziness that is happening that side? What do you think of
Who is
Chelsea?
that guy? Who is that guy
Chelsea.
actually? Yeah? Who is that guy who's managing
Is
Chelsea?
it Liam Senior or something like that?
Who is he? Who is he? I want to know where is he coming from?
He's the son of Leroy Senior. If you know Leroy, the guy who's always doing fantasy football on the Premier League channel.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know
that's
him.
his child. That's his child. That's as far as I know how far of him is his child. I know he used to play at Hull City. I remember he used to play at Hull City, and he was very successful at Hull City as well as a manager, but he did not do enough to a point that the Chelsea board came and took him to their French team, and I think that French team, that's when they train everything, managers, players, and everyone to become who they want them to be before they bring them to the Premier League.
Mhm.
That's as far as I know. That's as far as I know.
But he's
That's as far as I
even
know.
that guy. I don't think he's a good manager. Per se. I mean, the games that Chelsea win, you just see what is just the brilliance of those guys up front. He's
But
not.
don't you think, for example, the way he has made that striker so good, this guy, what's his name? João Pedro. Don't you think
Job.
he's doing something amazing to get the best out of those players? Because look at what João Pedro is doing right now. Look at what he's doing. Don't you think that he could be the guy in the near future to create something? I know he's still a young manager, that's for sure, and he's still growing up to become that kind of a guy. Don't you think that it needs time for him to get to the level where he will rise his game and start performing well? Because
Yes, I
whether we
think
like it
also.
or not, they are doing good
Yeah, no,
at some point.
I think the biggest problem with Chelsea to me is always the signings. Is he gonna sign players that he wants to actually use, not players who are just going to be stockpile and are just going to be full there with 30 players who are just useless and who are just eating on the wage bill?
No, 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 no,
Is Chelsea going to actually let him buy the players that he
no,
actually wants?
no, that will never change. Chelsea made that very clear. That will never change. It's their tactic. That's how they live. They'll die with their beliefs. They'll keep doing what they're doing. That was made very clear. And I think each and every manager who goes to that club, he has to be in agreement with their tactics. We're going to buy every youngster who looks like he can be a footballer. Then we get them to our
Exactly,
club. Then we will try to
especially
create
when he's
a
black.
Ronaldinho at a young age.
Yes. We just buy we just buy somebody who looks like he's a potentially good talent, especially
Hmm.
when he's black. When he's black, no, we have to buy that one. That is the one that we are going for.
What's up with that obsession with black players?
I don't know. I
What's up
don't
with
actually.
that obsession?
I think
There was a time where we had, I don't know, as many Rasta players that we've ever had in one team. They are so
Exactly.
obsessed with the right.
Obsessed.
Maybe when you have some good dreadlocks, you're a good player. Their
Yes.
tactic is doomed. That tactic, I've never seen something like that in my life. That
Your
is doomed,
Moise,
waiting to
your
happen.
Moise Kean, your Michiba Tsuhai. These are the type of players.
I forgot about Mitzi Batshuayi.
Where do you get these type of players? Like, wait, Chelsea have this talent of just having such kind of players, and they always buy in bulk. Like they always have like a mob of people inside the club, and then you have. But like you are saying, that guy, he looks like he is a proper tactician. Like he looks like he knows what how he wants to play and what he wants to do. And I
Yeah.
always say, if you as a manager, you come with your tactics, and then the players like it, and the players want to play for you and want to play for the club, you're always going to be successful. So
Yes.
it's just a matter of time to see if they can withstand the pressure of the Premier League, because in the Premier League things can change very quickly.
Yeah.
A team things can change very quickly, and you have to be always have to be up to par with the Premier League, because it's just high pressure, high pace. And next season I think they are going to expect him to win something, because you cannot just be there and then we are just clapping hands for you and then you are not winning
Yeah.
anything.
You can't just look so good. We don't. You are never hired in the Premier League for how good you look. How good, like for example, Manchester United with Amorim, it felt like they were running for a fashion show. That's what I felt when they had that manager. In the Premier League, we want you to do something special that we can hold on to. Look how fast it changed for Arne Slot. Very last season, he was the best thing before Jesus Christ was born. Now we want him out. We don't want to see him coming back. That's how fast things can change in the Premier League. So I
Exactly.
don't know. With Chelsea, it's just something that we're just gonna have to wait and see. But also, as we continue talking about that, there is the type of race that is happening. We have Arsenal, we have Manchester City. Who is winning? The Boko Haram football we are watching from Arsenal, or corner kicks, stock like, or Pep Guardiola's tactics, but very stubborn with his tactics and confusion that takes place. What is going to win? How are you looking at that one when you see it?
I think I think this title race is probably one of the most weird title races in the Premier League history, because you have an
Yeah,
Arsenal you have an Arsenal who is just a good. Arsenal is good defensively. They are good. Those guys. That
yeah, very.
defensive those defensive players that are the most.
But what do you expect of them? Let me remind you something. Mbappe was a defender, but he's playing as a left back.
Mm,
Timber was a defender where he came from, but he's playing as a right back. Arsenal literally has four defenders playing at the back. So you expect them to be good defensively. One way or the
exactly.
other, they're going to be good because they literally have defenders only.
So then you have that. Then you have a Manchester City team that is just trying to figure out. I don't know what that guy is trying to do, because I think I think a lot of things has changed. Even him, he's struggling to 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 move away from his idea of playing. He's struggling
Yeah.
within himself to move away
Do
from
you know?
that,
Do you know
because
what's happening? Do you know what's happening with Pep Guardiola? It's because of the assistant he's working with right now. He's working with Pep Linders. He was a Liverpool assistant to Jurgen Klopp for a long time. What
mm,
he knows Pep Linders is gagging football. If you look
mm,
at how Pep Guardiola is playing right now, there's more gagging football into their styles. It's not only tiki taka now these days. They are running those people. They are
mm,
using.
mm.
They are literally playing like Klopp like. So we are literally seeing a fusion of Klopp's football and Pep Guardiola trying to make direction out of whatever they're trying to create, and it's coming down. It's collapsing as fast as the Inter was ever created. And I think that's what the problem is. The reason why we can never find stability with City is because they are offering tactical plus gagging at the same time. It's confusing. It's really confusing.
And I still believe that they have struggled to find a Kevin De Bruyne. That guy, I think he was the essence of Manchester City. He was actually the reason why Manchester City and the Pep style of play was actually working because that guy was brilliant. He was brilliant
Yeah.
on the ball. He was brilliant off the ball as well. So he could pick those passes. That's why I think Pep Guardiola actually uh, he worshipped that guy because he did exactly what Pep Guardiola had envisioned for the club. So I think they have struggled to find that type of player who can be able to calm
But
things
you got
down.
Ryan Check, you know. Ryan Check, what's happening? There's a tactical who came from France.
The
He
problem,
continue to do at
let
least
me
a
tell
bit
you,
of what.
let me tell you with the problem with the Ryan Checky. I think the problem with
Mm.
the Ryan Checky is that he doesn't listen. That's that's where I think he has a problem with Pep Guardiola because Pep Guardiola is so controlling. So I think
Yeah.
Ryan Check just want to be a free player. He just want to be given a free role and just he doesn't want to be given certain type of settings where this is what you must do, this is what you must do. So I think that's where he has a problem with the manager. The manager knows that he's good. The manager knows that he can play, but the problem is he doesn't listen. When he's inside and he's playing, Pep is outside and he's in pain because he's not listening to anything that Pep is saying. So I think Pep
So so
knows,
so in
knows the
other
boy is
words,
talented.
we're saying Arsenal winning this league.
As I think Arsenal are going to take it, and it's painful because they're taking it with just corners. I mean, we have
I've
to be.
I've seen haram football. That is on another level. That football is irritating to watch.
That,
I
it's
think
so boring. It's
I'm sure Arsenal fans falls asleep in the ground and wake up while the game is still being played.
it's not it's not really exciting football because it doesn't have that flair, especially when going up front. Yes, they are good, they can defend the whole game, but then they do not have anything. They are not showing the quality going up front. Your Martinelli, your Gyökeres, and your Saka is just poor. I don't He's just there, man. He's just there. I don't know what he's doing there, but he's just there because he was
Hey,
chosen to play there. And
I
I'm not
feel
trying to
like
ridicule these guys, but Arsenal is playing very poor football, and unfortunately, they are going to win the Premier League, and it's so sad to say, but they are playing very poorly. It's boring. It's not up to standard. We need to see Arsenal playing the type of football that is exciting because they're a top club, they're a top team. We expect them to excite the fans. But I think the Arsenal fans are going to say, we don't care how we win it. We just want to win it. Hey, and if you are not going
and to be honest, if you have not won the
exactly,
Premier League for more than 20 years, would you really care how you do it?
exactly. So they don't actually care about how they're going to do it. They just know or they might actually win the Premier League because I thought Manchester City was going to challenge them, but I see they themselves have a problem, have a tactical problem because whatever they are trying to do is not working. It's not working actually, and I don't think they are going to win the next 4 or 5 games in a row. I think they are going to get some draws here and there. So I think Arsenal is actually going to win the Premier League this time around, and we will see. We will be.
And I'm telling you, you know what's the funny part? I don't really have a problem with Arsenal winning the league. I have no problem. I only have a problem with the fans. Those people are just unbearable. Those people are just unbearable to deal with. I trust me, I'll be celebrating with them if they were just not in your face. That those people are unbearable.
Exactly.
I've tried to cozy up to them. Right now, remember in the first part of the league, we Liverpool won the first 5 games, so we were their immediate threat. Since we started dropping points, up to now, whenever I lose it, when I lost to Ghana Center, I received about 16 messages from an Arsenal fan laughing at me. Like people don't know that we've been terrible since I don't even know how long Liverpool has been terrible. So I don't have a problem with Arsenal winning the league. And to be honest, I just hate the football. I'll just stop watching them. I don't care about how big Mikel Arteta is playing it, but I just cannot deal with the fans. I just wonder
Exactly.
how are you going to survive as a Tottenham fan?
I always say that the Premier League the Premier League is very surprising. And you would see Arsenal fans come season in, season out, they always say they are winning it. But for the last 3 seasons in a row, they came second, which I actually
Mm.
think is more embarrassing than anything because they looked like they were going to win it. And
Oh,
these
four
previous seasons,
seasons.
exactly, these previous seasons, they actually played with conviction. You could see that they wanted it. But this
Yeah.
season is actually horrible, and they are terrible up front, but they're actually going to win it. So we just have to uh, try and just let them be, and then we will
Yeah.
see next season because there is no
We
how we
just
can
let them
stop
be.
them. They are going to howl at us until we are not going to sleep. It's going to be a problem. So I think we just have to make sure that we remind them that this is the Premier League. We have to
Yeah.
remind them that this is the Premier League, and they have to bring it next season. And I think this season is a wrap. If it's not, I'll be very surprised. If they bottle this, if they bottle this,
How I pray, how I pray, I'm praying, God, if you can hear me. This, but I know, like you're saying, I think the truth of the matter is that this looks like it's done. I think
yeah,
this looks like Arsenal have got the job done. The draw that Arsenal City suffered in the hands of Nottingham Forest was the final nail in the coffin for me to end this. Arsenal have not been good, and I'm telling you, they might even drop points themselves, but I don't think City has what it takes in them to even catch up with them. I don't think they do, and I think that's what's going to make them champions. To be honest, to be around the champions. On the other hand, La Liga, what's happening with our team Barcelona? What's happening with our team Barcelona? We played in the Champions League. We are, how many points are we now at the top? Is it three or something points on top?
yes, yes, we are 5 points off actually.
Yeah, we are dealing with a Real Madrid team that surprised. You see what they did to Man City. I did not see that from Real Madrid. It's confusing, you know.
I think I don't understand Real Madrid and Champions League. Real Madrid is not good, especially because they are having problems up front. They're trying to figure things out in the middle. But Chouameni has been good so far. He's doing a wonderful job in the middle of the park. But I think Trent is not. He's just not up to standard. I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's doing much to help the team except whipping in those beautiful crosses from deep. That guy has a brilliant
But,
whip
but
of the
but
ball.
that's Trent Alexander-Arnold though. That's what Trent has always been. That's
Yeah,
what
I
you would
think
expect to see from Trent.
exactly. I think if he keeps on doing that and then on the defensive side he also ups his game, he's going to be good. But Real
Now,
Madrid,
Valverde, did you see how much Valverde worked in that Manchester City game? The way he kept on coming back, helping Trent Alexander-Arnold with Jeremy Doe.
and then after doing that, went and received the ball behind Bob O'Reilly and went and scored. Like he did that 2 or 3 times in the game, and he did it effectively, just running. No tactics, nothing. Just a man who is trying to win a football game for his club. That's the type of
Exactly. That
passion that
was
we need.
that for me. That was Steven Gerrard X. The way he worked defensively, midfield, and
Exactly.
strike force. He was literally
Exactly.
he is the closest player I can say reminds me of Gerrard. I know Dominic Soboslai is there as well, but what Valverde did in that game, for me, that just sounded and told me that's exactly what you'd expect to see from a Stevie G. That was
Exactly.
amazing.
And that's
No,
not something that you see these days. Like the type of players that we have these days they are too egotistical. They're not able to run. Sometimes you don't need tactics, you just need to run. You just need to be
be a road
everywhere all the
runner.
time. Yes, you have to be everywhere all the time. And I don't and it's sad to say you won't see the talented players like Jude Bellingham doing that type of thing. You won't see them. They're always
No,
frowning, always complaining. But sometimes, as a good player, as a good talented player, sometimes just run. Then you will
Yeah.
see you will be able to, because in games like Man City or Man City and your Real Madrid, that there is not much tactics involved. It's just heart and passion. Who's willing
Mm.
to do the most? Who's willing to run more? Who's willing to
Do
go
the
the
dirty
extra
work.
mile? Exactly. So Valverde came into that game willing to do everything that it takes, and then he did
And
it,
that's how it
and
was
he scored
successful.
3 goals. Exactly. So I think with Barcelona, we have a problem. I think we have a big problem because these young boys, they are trying. They are really trying, because I think the type of play uh, that the manager is trying to execute all the time, it
Mm.
needs a lot. It
Yeah.
asks a lot of players. But those young
Mm.
boys, they were doing it last season. They are still doing it now.
Do you
So
know?
I
Do you
think
know the thing that I want Barcelona to change? They just needs to fix up. At least have one player to pay Kubasi in that defensive, because I think we need a better somebody who can stand the ring. Because I've not really been impressed with the partners who have been next to Kubasi, who have been next to this guy. What's his name? This young kid, this defender. Because I feel like we lack so much at that defensive part. But so it means if we're playing that high line, 90% of the time this season we've been exposed more than we were last season, because the player who was really good at helping trapping those offsides and what is no longer at Barcelona. If we can
mm,
improve and get a better player at that backline, we are good. And I know we love Joe Kunde and he's a good player. Sometimes he disappoints me. He disappoints me. He disappears when you need him to stand there. And the
exactly.
midfield, that team is really good, that Barcelona team. It's really good. They just need to sort out some small things.
No, I think the midfield and up front, even though I think because of fatigue and everything, Rafinha is not. His legs are. I think his legs are a little bit on the heavy side, because he's not
Mm,
doing what he did like the
mm,
beginning of the season and last season. So
mm.
I think I have no complaints. The only complaint I have is at the back. At the back, we need somebody who can run, because having a high line, firstly you need an intelligent player. An intelligent player, somebody who can play that high line, who can play people onside and not who can play people offside and not onside. We need
Mm.
intelligent players. We need players who know movement, who know timing. We need a
Yeah.
quick defender. We need a quick defender, somebody who can play in that back too, and who can
Who's
be
very
able to help.
active,
Exactly. So I think that's
always
one thing
alert.
that he did. But apart from that, Barcelona is playing the type of football that I enjoy watching. Pedri is beautiful in the middle. He's just full of the boat, good stuff. He's just
Yeah, true.
doing. And then when he's with the veteran like your Frankie De Jong, beautiful stuff. Those guys that are doing something that are making me to believe in football, Barcelona football again. Because
Mm,
I know we are conceding a lot, but the
mm.
good thing is we are scoring a lot, and that
As
to
well.
me, I enjoy that, because I do
Mm.
not want to watch a football match and then is 1-0 and then 2-0, something like that. I want goals.
No,
I want
trust me, nobody wants to watch Arsenal type of football. Nobody.
hoping
Because
for a
if you look at
corner.
if you look at that type of player that Barcelona is showing, the game, I think it's because that's game football. That's what we used to see from Jurgen Klopp. That's the type of football we are used to. Is the game
Exactly.
football.
Mm.
And you will know that sometimes it's a situation of you win some, you lose some. I'm going to
Exactly.
outscore you no matter what. We are
Exactly.
going to be playing, if it's this going to be a basketball match, I'm scoring this side and you're scoring this side. We are going to make this a match and I'm coming up at the top. That's exactly what
Exactly.
Barcelona was doing. It's just that the game, I think, against Atletico Madrid, the one that we lost by 4 goals, I think it came at a moment where we were struggling injury-wise and we were not able to do enough in the second game, which I think we won by 3 goals to 0. We're not able to do enough to get the job done. But look how much we can score and how much that we consider the other side, know that we're going to do better going forward. And that's what makes it so exciting to watch. It's something that, for example, if you watch a Real Madrid game in La Liga, really, not what we watch against Man City, in La Liga, you would want to fall asleep because they're really boring going forward sometimes. I don't know what happens to them, but with Barcelona, even at some point, I know Lewandowski is no longer playing as much games as he used to play, but even with Ferran Torres, you still see exciting football. You still see something going forward. With the Marcus Rashford on the wing, there's still something that is being created. By the way, Barcelona have literally losing Marcus Rashford. This guy was gone. And yet he's been performing well. That you can appreciate that, okay, I think in a way he has found a place in this team. And I start to love Marcus Rashford. He's a United player. I should be hating this guy. But I love what he's doing for us in Barcelona.
But when are we getting rid of Ronald Araujo? I think it's time.
I think there's some. Because I think the time is up. I think we're dealing with this. He was dealing with mental health the whole of last season, right?
Exactly.
To this season.
And it's sad because he actually, when he is okay, he is actually a good player. He is a great player. He can
could
deliver.
Be the best partner to this kid we wanted back, but we can't see that because he has not been playing football for some time now. Do you know there's something that I understand that their mental health and stuff, but it feels like with the current crops of players of nowadays, they are more into their feelings than what we used to see in the past. You would insult Messi and you continue going. But now if you insult and say something to Vinny Jr., he's going on the floor. He's rolling around. And it just destroys football, the football we love. It has made players soft. It has made players soft. Do you know that a player, for example, like Jadon Sancho, Sancho's game did not die because of what was happening. It just died because he felt like he was being ill-treated by the management. He was angry at what they called him. And that's killing football in my eyes.
And I think the sensitivity comes from how things are done nowadays. The media, social media, journalists, and the propagandas that they are always pushing. The need for us to consume something, because journalists are always making type of stories, your Fabrizio Romanos and they're always trying to make up stories so that they can feed us. So that thing on its own, it creates players who are always sensitive to try and respond, to want to say something. So it's problematic, and it kills real talent. Like people who are really talented, you can see that Vinicius Jr. is talented, but if mentally he's just a weak person, he's not somebody whom you can rely on big games. If you come to him and then you whisper something in his ear, he's out for the whole game. But if you did that to our players back then, they were going to kill you with the ball. They were not going to kill you with words.
For example, I can tell you something crazy. If you remember the rivalry between this Manchester United player, this black guy who used to play number 3, and Luis Suarez, these guys will be insulting, racial, some crazy things to each other, but you still see him going and coming after Suarez.
Exactly.
That's football.
That's
football. That's what you want to see. Take over, just ignore the nonsense and keep moving forward. But
anyway, like Vinicius Jr., even if you don't say anything to him and you just keep on fouling him the whole game, he goes out. I don't understand. You are a man. You are a man, and you are a good player. You are a good, tricky player. You are going to be fouled. You are bound to be fouled. Neymar spent most of his time being fouled, but he didn't frown about it. After you foul him, he takes the free kick. He scores. He celebrates. He doesn't waste time throwing his hands around, complaining to the referee. No, he doesn't do that. You foul him, he stands up, he takes the ball, he scores the free kick, we go to the center line. So I don't think these players, they understand that these things, they are going to happen. How you respond is very, very important because football is played in only 90 minutes, and 90 minutes is a very small time. So
Yeah.
players nowadays are a problem.
Now, no, it's crazy. It's been an interesting stream so far. I wanted to
Yes,
hear
I
from
think.
you. You
Yes,
you
I
you
think
saw
we'll.
the Champions League. You saw the Champions League, and in the Champions League, I think the English teams were shocked. I don't think any of them expected the way it came out. And of course, second league is coming in the next week to finish round of 16. How many do you think will make it in terms of the games? I'm just going to tell you in terms of the games how it look like right now and what to expect going forward. Then we'll go and predict what we think of the Premier League, the games that are going to be played this week. But I'm curious to hear what your thoughts were of the Champions League. For example, on Tuesday, Liverpool lost to Galatasaray. Do you think Liverpool will beat Galatasaray at Anfield? Do you think they're able to turn this out or it's done?
I think they would. Like they just have to ride on the wave of playing at Anfield. If they do that, I think they actually can win against Galatasaray. Unless they do like they make some mistakes. Like they should just avoid mistakes. If they do avoid certain mistakes, I think they can win it because when you play at
The
Anfield, you can
problem,
feel it. You
the
can feel
problem
it.
is
That
this. Yeah, the problem is this Liverpool mistake, especially against not Liverpool, are close friends. So it's difficult to say we can avoid that. It's very, very difficult. Then we have
mm,
Atalanta, who were beaten by 6 goals to 1 by Bayern Munich. Is there any comeback in that story?
no, that one is done. Game
Serious?
over. They should just leave it. Leave that game. If there was a forfeit
Because
button like in FIFA, they would press that because it's done.
because they were beaten 6 goals away from home. Can they do anything at Bayern?
It's impossible.
Okay, interesting. Then the other one is Atletico Madrid Spurs 5-2. Is their comeback story at Spurs Stadium?
Funny thing is, Spurs have been good in the
Mm,
Champions League.
mm.
So I don't know. I don't know what they are thinking right now, but it is a winnable game. It is actually
Yeah,
still open for them
because
because I think Atletico Madrid when they go away, they tend to be more on the defensive side. They tend
yes,
to do that. I don't know why Diego Simeone always does that, but they tend to do
it,
that. And if they
it
do
is
that,
Mikel Arteta's friend. It's a Rambo. It's a Rambo.
so
We live on that.
if they come with that tendency, Spurs could actually win that game.
And I'm praying so because I need Spurs to go through, especially with what's happening in the league for you guys in terms of the pressure. This could be something that you need to start a comeback in the league.
Exactly.
Then Newcastle won, Barcelona won. Is there any who's going to win this
Uh,
fixture?
I think Newcastle is a problem because Newcastle, they I think they are playing like a team who has nothing to lose. They have
Yeah,
no
because they
pressure.
don't.
They have no pressure whatsoever. They're just happy actually to be playing against Barcelona because they want to prove themselves. So you can
Mm,
see that they actually want to beat Barcelona not for the Champions League but for their own self glory. To say that we
yeah.
did go against Barcelona and we did beat Barcelona in the Champions League. So I think it's going to be a very problematic game for Barcelona. And if they don't watch out, they're actually going to lose it because Newcastle Newcastle goes all out. They go all out. They don't leave anything behind.
Yeah, which is true. I agree with everything you're saying. But I understand it's a problem, but I think Barcelona will go through.
They
Because
have
what happened, it was St. James Park, now it's a Camp Nou. You don't understand how St. James Park is like as a ground. Those fans are crazy. The Geordies are not the ones to play around. They swear the games in Newcastle's favor. But I think Barcelona at Camp Nou with their own fans, there could be a change. I think Barcelona will go through on this one. Then the next one is Leverkusen and Arsenal 1-1. What do you think?
no Arsenal is going to win that one because Leverkusen is just poor.
But they played so well though against Arsenal. They played so much well. Like I've never seen Leverkusen playing like that. Never at all. So do you think that they're just going to roll up and create a curtain and just keep quit? Eh? Are you still with me then? Feels like it just froze. Anyway, it's been an interesting stream, guys. It seems like I've lost Mr. Tuto here that I've been talking to. It's connected, but it's no longer active. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think of what we've been talking about? What do you think on what we're talking about? How do you see the games going on? Like really, because yeah, it's been a while. We have had an interesting topic. We covered all of things. I actually wanted to ask him the results against Spurs, against Liverpool, like in his eyes, how does he see it going on? Like, how does he see it winning? It's been really interesting because and I've been clear with this. I think we as Liverpool are disappointing. I think we've not shown enough to believe. I don't know what exactly to expect from Liverpool. In fact, I don't even think Igor Tuchel knows what he's going to see will happen from Liverpool when the game is being played. And some people might say, okay, it's a good thing, but as much as if all good things goes, that is a problem in itself. That in itself is a problem. And I'm just curious to see how the one plays out like. But yes, like I'm saying, Champions League, I'll do talk to him again next when we do this. This has been the table talk, of course. We try always to talk about everything that happens in football and everything too that we expect from football. But it's been exciting. What an interesting topics that we covered. And this was our first time introducing a participant into the Connect. We're going to be doing that more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hype to the Connect. We'll do more on this, of course, and we'll talk about everything that comes next. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think will happen in terms of the weekend? Who's going to win? I did my prediction. You can go check that on the Football Connect prediction show. I covered everything, and I would advise you guys to go check it out. And I hope you had an amazing show. We talked about a lot of things in this show, really, and I think you will learn a lot of things. Like the video, subscribe to the Connect. I'll see you another one. We're out. Peace. Subscribe to the Connect. We're out.